Welcome to another edition of Neighborhood Update with State Representative John Prezell. I'm Tracy Toth, and joining us today is Steve Phillips of the Fox Chase Townwatch. Steve, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Appreciate you having me here today. Thank you.
Steve, the Fox Chase Townwatch is an organization born out of tragedy. Is that right?
Absolutely. The tragic event is the Eddie Pollock murder back in November of '94. Really set the Fox Chase community, on our head, and we just knew we had to take a stance against some of the things that were happening in the community, and this certainly got everyone up in arms, and we organized the Fox Chase Townwatch shortly after that.
That was a really defining moment, truthfully, for the Fox Chase community. I mean, the Eddie Pollock situation was truly a very, very sad one. It was several youths came in and actually killed a young man. And it was, again, it's just one of those things that just makes you think, what are you going to do for the future? And I commend Steve and the rest of the Fox Chase area people, because they put this town watch into effect right away. And I got to be honest with you, the neighborhood is extremely safe today for what they've done.
Steve, can you tell us about some of those initial steps that the neighborhood took?
Well, the first thing, like any town watch organization, you need the people to unite. And we had a meeting at our local parish, St. Cecilia's Church, and a couple hundred people showed up, and someone suggested a town watch, and it went on from there. To this day, we still have a good core group of volunteers. And like every group, we could use some more, but we were out there dedicated every weekend in our community.
And can you tell us a little bit about the area that you're responsible for, or the area that you patrol?
Absolutely. Fox Chase is unique. We're on the corner section of northeast Philadelphia. To our west, we border Montgomery County. As we patrol more to the east, we run into the Ronhurst Townwatch. Heading south, we would then meet up with the Burhone Townwatch. And then our north border stretches up through Pennypack Park into the Bustleton area. So we're kind of confined, which is good. We get to protect our little universe, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. John, this is another level of care that the communities are showing for one another and for your neighbor. Mm-hmm. It's a way to reach out and protect, isn't it?
It's the citizens of the area saying that we'd like to make sure that our area is going to be a very safe area to live and to raise a family. And I think with what Steve's done with the Fox Chase Townwatch and with what the other members have done, when you go there, there's a sense of security. There's a sense that there's a community caring, that there's groups keeping an eye out. I mean, we have to be honest with ourselves. It's a sad commentary, but in the times that we're in, there's less police and we need more community policing, and it just makes the area safer.
Right. Steve, how long have you been involved with the Fox Chase Townwatch?
As president since 2001, but I was one of the original members back in 1994 that signed up. Two of my children were very young. I now have three, and I just couldn't help thinking how important this initiative would be to my children.
Sure. So you've seen a lot of changes then over the year as far as this program goes.
Absolutely. I think the changes have been positive. As I mentioned, we can't always pinpoint what we deter as an organization, but we certainly, as our goal, we don't want to have another repeat event of any tragedy of that nature.
Right. And John, you've been involved in National Night Out for a long time. What's it like for you to participate in something like this?
Well, the National Night Out is really meant to show people the different ways to deter crime in their community. It's really a way to support the local police, to support your town watch efforts, and to say, hey, we're going to take back our neighborhoods. We're not going to have thugs or bullies or groups of kids be in charge of our community. We're going to be in charge of our community. And if everybody together works together, and if they have a problem, they grab the town watch right away, or they grab the local police right away, you're not going to have a problem. So the National Night Out is really an awareness night, so that everybody understands, let's watch out for one another. Let's make sure that our area is protected. Let's make sure we're secure. Let's make sure everything we need to do is put into place so that if there's a problem, we can react instantly. And it's really saying we're in charge of our community, not you.
John, you mentioned earlier our diminishing number of police on our streets of Philadelphia. You've actually introduced legislation to help provide up to 10,000 new police in Pennsylvania, with more than 1,000 in Philadelphia.
With the way it's been for the last maybe 10 or 12 or 13 years, I mean, the number of police on our streets has been going down. So, and truthfully, the murder rate in the city of Philadelphia has been going up. So they increasingly deter or take additional police out of our area to go to the areas where there are actual murders. A kid drinking in a little park or an alleyway is not a number one thing when you call 911. So when they see the Town Watch come, the kids will disperse and they'll go. Without them doing that, and with the diminished police presence, there would be more crime in the community. But with what the Fox Chase Townwatch has done, has been a deterrent to that crime. So it's really working for the community, making an awareness, making sure that, hey, our community's safe.
And it's an added responsibility for the community, Steve, but it's something that I would imagine everybody welcomes.
Well, absolutely. You know, as much as the kids might not always welcome us, I've got to know them over the years. You know, a lot of them have grown up and have moved on to productive lives, and that's always a positive when you see a kid maybe on the fringe of going down the wrong path. You know, and that's a sense of accomplishment on our part. I think just getting to know the kids in the neighborhood is important, and so that we have a relationship going on. We're not just hiding behind the scenes. You know, we do get out there, and since we're also involved in other organizations such as our sports organizations, I think it's important to get to know the kids. But speaking on what John spoke on, the police, all you have to do is listen to a police scanner for a few minutes, and you will know right off the bat that our police are being reactive and not proactive. They're reacting to all the calls that they get in a priority system, and unfortunately, they can't be proactive and do the community policing that we need just to be a presence at our rec center or a presence.
If I could, one of the reasons that we did the legislation called 10,000 cops was because when you go by population and crime statistics, the city of Philadelphia itself would get an additional 1,300 police officers. And one of the onuses for that piece of legislation was to allow us to get the additional officers so that they can respond to the lower rung of crimes. And I think Steve's right. When you if you listen to a scanner, I mean, it's murders, robberies, rapes. I mean, and naturally they should be the crimes that they go to. But they never get down to the second tier, which are going back to that Rudy Giuliani, the broken window theory. If you stop the kids drinking in the park, if you stop the kids that are doing a little vandalism or spray painting something, when you stop that, you stop the future of the crime wave. So the onus for the 10,000 cops was to put 1,300 additional police officers on the streets in the city to deter crime, not behind a desk and not in a radio dispatch unit, but on the street deterring crime.
Right. Well, you just answered my next question then. You know, when it comes to crime in our neighborhoods, what can your office provide to anyone with crime-related problems?
Well, we can do that. We also get in touch with the captains of the different police districts and ask them to make sure that at roll call time that they step up the number of patrols. When you get rowdy kids or you get neighbors on a block that are causing a problem on the block, or they're rowdy or they're playing the music late at night or drinking or leave the car on with the radio blasting, you know, we get involved in that and get off to the police. And as the priority rolls down, they'll get to those. But I mean, they're not the first priority. That's why the 10,000 cops is important, because that will give us, again, the 1,300 additional officers, and now we could get down from the murders, robberies, and rapes down to the crimes that, if you stop them now, they're done forever. And that's really why the 10,000 cops is out there.
Tracy, I just want to add our motto in the Town Watch is improving our quality of life. And we work closely with, Fox Chase has 2 police districts, the 7th and the 2nd. And I think one of the most important relationships that I have is to be very close to the captains and the community relations officers in those districts. As John mentioned, if there's a hot spot or something going on, we'll let them know and they'll react to it. I think that relationship's vital to have an ongoing dialogue and improve your quality of life.
I totally agree. Steve, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you very much for your participation in this very important program.
Again, thank you for having me.
I'm Tracy Toth. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Neighborhood Update with State Representative John Prezell.